Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business. And don't forget that tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, we'll be live streaming, and we got a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about, Mark.
We've got, thank God for New England and Robert Kraft and all that situation. Yeah. Imagine if that had been Jerry Jones or somebody else on the Dallas Cowboys. It's kind of funny because I've been sitting here looking at the stuff, and as you're looking, there's not a whole lot posted the last 2 hours about it. It's already getting kind of quiet. But anyway, I got my man, Philly 500, right here. This is the calm before the storm. Philly, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Mark. How you doing? Thank you for having me on your show. I'm good, but I'm antsy. I am really, really antsy because I'm ready for this free agency and this off season to get going.
Well, I got to tell you,
got to get going.
We got something new here at the Joe Boo Sports Report. We actually, you can't see it right now because you're looking at my pretty face, but we have a countdown clock to the NFL season, and right at this moment, we are 195 days, 3 hours, 17 minutes, and 45 seconds away from kickoff.
That's depressing. Very depressing.
Dude, it was 2:20 when I started the clock.
Oh, that's
okay.
Forever.
It's all good. But here it is. This is really, like I said, the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
My Cowboys have about $48 million in cap space. We've got some people we got to sign and stuff, but a lot of Cowboy fans are losing their minds because, like, oh my God, we got to sign Dak, we got to sign Zeke, Amari, and everything, and we only have $48 million in cap space. So, what kind of stuff's going on with your Eagles? How are you guys doing money wise?
We're a little up against it. We'll say a little up against it. Right now, I think we're probably maybe the worst cap team right now. I think worst or second worst. But there's some big moves coming. We have the ability to free up.
How bad is it now?
I think it's last I saw. I think it was 16 over. 16 over is what I last saw. Now that was like a week or two ago.
So are you guys going for like the payday loan?
Yeah, exactly. I'm on the phone right now. What do you mean?
You know, where your job is your credit.
That's it. Now we're gonna have to make some hard moves. I mean, obviously most everybody knows that Foles carries a $20 million cap hit, so he's definitely not going to be back. And then
okay. Now before you move on, okay, my question is, do you think they're going to franchise tag him? Because now they only have until a week from Tuesday.
Right.
Now they may try. This is what the Redskins were talking about trying to do last year with Kirk Cousins, but there's a lot of risk of doing that because if you do that, then his number's still on the cap until you trade him, right?
Right. From what I understand, and I was trying to figure this out too the other day because I wasn't sure if you can franchise him, and when you franchise him, you have to be under that cap number, which is like $25 million. Mm-hmm. But it turns out they have till the 5th to franchise him.
Right.
They can rescind it by the 13th. So if they franchise him, they don't technically have to be under that cap until the 13th. So they can franchise him, and then they can try to trade him. But by like the 12th, they have to take the franchise tag off of him.
So you better be sure that you got somebody who's ready to trade for him.
And that's the problem. Who's going to offer you a lot when you know?
So Joe Flacco's a fourth.
I know, but he's under contract. You know what I mean? So let's say you have one team, the Jaguars, and they're the only team that really want to go after him. Well, why would they trade you anything until he's a free agent? But if you have a team like, let's say the Redskins want him, and they're going to go hard after him, just as an example.
Lordy.
And then you have.
But the Redskins got no money either.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be tough. I don't think the Eagles are going to be able to pull this off.
I don't think
it would be nice.
And see, that's what that was the Redskins' quandary last year because, like, okay, we've already signed Alex Smith. We've got him. If we go ahead and sign Kirk Cousins, then we can't trade him. We're risking actually having to carry that money throughout the season. So, yeah, so that's a very short window to go ahead and try and make a trade for him.
If they could do it, it's genius. I mean, if the Jaguars somehow feel – and I was telling people, because we heard the Giants may go after him, the Redskins. I think the Eagles could be putting stuff out there because they want somebody to come in and feel like they can't let him hit the market.
Here's the thing with Nick Foles. He played fantastic 3 times. that year in Philadelphia where he, lit up
27-2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That year was great, and he played great through the playoffs those 2 years. But you look at the rest of the career, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's been up and down. Nick Foles is not from my opinion of Nick Foles is he's the kind of guy that if you put talent around him, he can win you a Super Bowl. He can win high pressure situations. Mm-hmm. But Nick Foles, you usually get really bad Nick Foles or really, really good Nick Foles. There's not a lot of in between. And if he goes to the right team, a team that has talent around him, mm-hmm. he could win for him. I believe that.
I can see him not wanting to go to Washington because that's where quarterbacks literally go to die. I mean, literally, they go to die. So that'll be an interesting situation.
I think the Jaguars are the best spot. They got DeFilippo came over as their offensive coordinator. He was with Foles at Super Bowl year. It just makes so much sense mm-hmm. for the Jaguars. But the question is, can we get something for him? I would love if we could, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I think it sounds great in theory, but we were talking about that before Tony Romo finally said, you know what, I'm going to retire. It's just I just look at how much can you actually get back for him. I mean, do you think you get higher than a third round pick at most?
No, I think a third is max. Maybe. I think a third is probably fair.
And to me, if you're the Eagles brass, and I know it's a business, but I would look at it and say, you know what, Kurt. Nick, you want us to Super Bowl and all that. We'll just set you free so that way you can determine where you want to play and pick the best thing for you. Okay,
I think that's going to happen.
All right, so next on the block there, you think?
I think the guys to watch next on the block are Jason Peters, mm-hmm. Timmy Jernigan, or Nelson Aguilar. I did hear they're trying to restructure Nelson Aguilar. Now, he's a $9 million cap hit with no dead money, so you could just cut him. And to me, I'm not the biggest Nelson Aguilar. I think you can find him. Matt Collins can go in the slot. So I would watch those three guys. I think those three guys are either going to restructure or go.
Well, Peter's getting long in the tooth and has a injury history and stuff. I think that might be one of those ones where you say, maybe it's time to move on and look in the draft.
Yeah, and I think he's like $11 million. And they got this kid. They got the kid in the 7th round last year, Jordan Mailata. Now he came over from Australia, but man, they're really very, very talented, but very, very raw. And they think he can be a legitimate left tackle down the road. But I don't think next year's quit as soon as it's too soon.
Well, here's the big question I have for you because Le'Veon Bell is out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of. The Eagles' name it's a lot like the Cowboys in some ways. They're attached to almost every name I've seen.
I've seen Antonio Brown. I think that's fans in general. I bet you if you go to any team, that's always the case because everybody, we should go get AB, and I'm like, why?
No, well, I mean, I'm talking about national writers. Jason La Canfora has this link to Le'Veon Bell. Another guy I saw, I forget who it was like the Eagles are going to be a sleeper for Antonio Brown. I don't see it happening.
Where are you getting this money? He's looking for.
I don't know.
You know what? I tell you what. See, to me, I'm sorry. I just don't have this thing for diva wide receivers.
Yeah.
To me, I look at all these great wide receivers and everything else, and what have any of these diva wide receivers won? Antonio Brown, a lot of numbers and everything else, but what have they still won with them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Chad Ochocinco.
Yeah.
T.O.
Although T.O. was MVP in the Super Bowl, he lost. He should have won MVP.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, he came to play.
Okay, all right. But I look at Odell. Okay, how about Odell Beckham?
Yeah.
The play that sums him up is the one-handed catch, beautiful catch and everything else, but they still lost the game.
Yeah, well, they got Eli face.
Yeah, well.
You're not going to win much with that face.
Hey, they're still talking about him being the starter next year, so I'm happy about that. But
me too.
So, with this, we get the same thing. We should go get AB, and I'm like, man, we can't afford him, and he's a cancer to the team. He's already saying I'll play for anybody, as long as it's guaranteed money. It's kind of like, okay, how much are you going to really get what you guarantee to this guy?
Well, and Le'Veon Bell, they're saying he wants $50 million in the first two years of his deal.
Did you hear that? Wait. I've lost some weight now. I'm down to 260.
Good for you, man.
Right?
You're looking good.
Yeah, but see, for a running back, that's what he's at right now.
Yeah, that's not good.
He's at two. His playing weight's 225. Now, I'm not saying he can't lose it. He might go to that keto diet, but.
Yeah.
You're a fat ass and you're looking for 50 million guaranteed for the first 2 years.
Yeah, and he missed all last year, so that could actually help him or hurt him. Because it's no wear and tear for a year. But if you're not in shape, that's not good. But I don't see Le'Veon coming to Philly. I really don't.
Okay, so I guess we'll talk about the draft and stuff later on. But free agency.
Here's what I think the Eagles will do.
What's that?
And I think the Eagles are going to look to sign a big defensive end. I think they're going to look, and hopefully one of these defensive ends become available.
Mm-hmm.
I think they look to sign it. And then I think that they go skilled position with the first 3 picks. A speed wide receiver on the outside and a running back. And maybe they bring back like LeGarrette Blount and then draft Jacobs, in the draft, or Benny Snell. I think that's what they're going to do. I think they got to get young, skilled position guys that can be with Carson for the next 7 to 8 years that are not expensive.
Yeah, and it's at some point. So you guys were one of the few teams that actually won in free agency, because typically when you bring in a lot of free agents, things like you guys did, you don't usually win. You guys got the Super Bowl out of it, but unfortunately the bills come due after about 2 years, and that's where you guys are, where you're in cap hell. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. So tell me what you got going on your channel, my man.
Well, right now, we're going to do free agency. We got drafts coming, and there's going to be a lot of stuff on that. And look, I'm a big Sixers fan, so I've been streaming some Sixers fans and some games, and we're going to keep it up. We're going to get the playoffs going, and it's going to be fun. And hopefully the Phillies sign Bryce Harper, and I have a reason to stream some baseball.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to stick to football. Have you watched any of the AAF?
I watched a little bit of it for a couple minutes, but not much more than that.
You're not a fan?
I'm not yet.
Man, you know what? They hit, man.
And I have to sit down and really watch it.
They're not throwing the flags when the quarterbacks get lit up. That's what I like.
I like that. I like that.
It's almost like old school football, like when I.
Do you have a team? Have you decided on a team?
I do. And my son has a team. I don't really have. I just kind of watch a few games here and there.
Yeah.
And look at the highlights and the hits and stuff.
Yeah. I have to really sit down and watch it.
All right, man. Well, everybody, check out my man, Philly 500. We're going to be talking to him, hopefully, on a regular basis and things. And if there is, in fact, a Redskin YouTuber out there, I'm looking for you. I know you Redskin fans are in hiding right now because your team sucks. But I would like to be able to get you in part of the rotation here on the Joe Boo Sports Report. Make sure you guys sub to my man Philly. Tell him his team sucks. He's okay, but tell him his team sucks. I'm Mark Holmes with Philly 500. And
don't be a dingbat.
Like Philly 500. And I'll see you guys soon.